Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming today. And this is another day, another lesson that we are going to talk about it. And of course, we are not yet finished with the topic air last time. But you can see this one in your book, chapter 8, 122, something like that. All right, so here, as you can see, that air is everywhere, as what I have told you last time. We cannot see the air, but we can feel the presence of it. Okay, now here, already here, air is everywhere around us. Our Earth is surrounded by a layer of air. Remember this one? And that layer is known as atmosphere. I already told this one last time, but I want to mention it again for you to be familiarized with this certain object that we can find in um, surrounds the earth, the color blue. And let us going to discover what is the importance of the atmosphere in our earth, right? Atmosphere around the earth, right? So this is a mixture of different gases. These gases are nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and noble gases. So as you can see in the atmosphere, there are different gases that you can see. Different gases that you can see. Okay, air has also other components such as water, vapor, dust, and microorganisms, which we are going to talk about for this morning. All right, so we're already done with this one, and here I'll review to you the composition of air. The largest of all is the nitrogen, which is 78%, and oxygen is 21%, and only 1% carbon dioxide or other different um, gases. So here, see the largest, what I told you, nitrogen is the largest component, is what I have told, and this is unreactive, and it can be useful to make fertilizers and other explosives substances. Another, wait, sorry. Right, another example we have, oxygen is an important gas for all living things, not only to man, not only to you, but for all living things. Very, very important because we use it every single day. Sorry. All right, so without oxygen, all living things cannot survive as well. Okay, remember this one, kids? You cannot survive, I cannot survive, you cannot survive without oxygen. So we breathe oxygen, our body needs oxygen. We breathe air through our nose. So I think we stop here. Yeah, we stop it here. Okay, carbon dioxide is a useful gas for plants, not for animals and human. So this is what very useful only for plants because the plant needs carbon dioxide in order for them to want to make food, and this process called photosynthesis. Okay, in 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 the process called photosynthesis, the plant needs it in order for them to make their own food. And of course, in order for them to survive, they will not survive if there is no carbon dioxide. But not all plants, because some plants don't need carbon dioxide as well, um, because they are not making food. All right, so look at this. Carbon dioxide is too much. As you can see on the part, look at the smoke. This one is very dangerous for human being, but this is good for the plants. Why? Because the plants need it in order for them to make food. Okay, but in here, plants need carbon dioxide to make food. How about you? Do you need carbon dioxide to make food? No, we need oxygen in order for us to survive and to live. Plants, look at the plants. The plants are so happy, dancing, getting the carbon dioxide, and then they're making food now. So in other areas as well, noble gases, which the other gases that we mentioned, only 1%, right? Other gases are made up of a few types of gases such as helium, neon, and argon. So here we have the balloons filled with helium, and it can float upwards because of the presence of the helium. This gas is very, very light that can float on the water on the air. And we have here the neon is used in advertising signs. So that's the difference between the two. And the last we have argon that you can see on the bulb. All right. So here, water vapor is also present in air. Okay, kids, remember this one. Do you notice the water droplets that form on the outer part of the glass of a glass of iced water that is left on a table? Yes, we can see the water droplets left on the table even though we are not putting water in it because of the water vapor. At first, that is what that's an air, and it slowly form into a water droplets. That's why you can see the presence of the water droplets even though you are not pouring the water from the glass into the table. That is water vapor, and it's a form of gas. The water droplets come from water vapor in the air. The water vapor is cooled by the glass of iced water and turns into water droplets. So that's the main or the difference between this. That's the important, and this is another um, term of it, and another ways how the air will comes out from that certain position. All right. So another thing that we have to consider, the other things in the air such as microorganisms and dusts. Look at these kids. There are many microorganisms that we can find in the air. And I know we cannot see, but we can get from it. But if you will say micro means very small. If you will say macro, that means too big. So here, microorganisms, that means very tiny living creatures or living things and dusts that you can find, that you can get from the air. Dust and some microorganisms such as bacteria can make us sick. Okay, remember this one, kids? These microorganisms can make us sick. These things can stick to our body easily. Okay, the dust will come to your face, the dust will remain there, and bacteria will remain in your body. That's the reason why every day we have to wash our hands, we have to take a bath. If you're from the school, you went home, take a bath before you go to bed. Okay, in order that those um, microorganisms such as bacteria inside of your body and viruses will gone. Okay, therefore, we should keep ourselves clean by bathing or washing our hands with soap. So what are you going to do? You are going to wash your hand and take a bath every single day. So that's the first. All right. Okay, so I would like to show you here the importance of the air into our lives, because many people nowadays did not appreciate the importance of the air, and I knew that all of us here, we know some of it, but not all. Now let us talk about piece by piece in order for us to comprehend what is the importance of the air into our lives. So for more info about this topic, shows that there are many different things that we can get from the air. Number one, we cannot fly a kite without the presence of the air, which is the moving air called wind. And also we cannot breathe without them. So here, all living things, including plants and animals, need air to breathe, like me, you. We need air to breathe. They need oxygen. So say we need, and they need oxygen according. They need oxygen to produce energy from the food they eat to carry out their daily activities. Yes, we need oxygen. Plants need, animals need oxygen as well, order for them, and also plants. Without air, we cannot hear any sounds. Why? This is because sound needs to travel. Yes, if there is no air in that particular place, you cannot hear any music. Why? Because the air needs to, I mean, the music or the sound needs to travel. So if there is no air, moving air there, you cannot hear the sound. Some musical instruments make use of the vibration of air to produce music. Okay, like for
Hi.
example, this one, the float. The girl is playing a float with the use of her, I mean, of her air. Right? With the use of blowing on the flute, the reason why the flute produces sound. Okay, sound is this one is sound is produced from flute. I will uh, sound is produced from a flute. A flute by the vibrating column of air in it. So that's the reason behind why is it the flute is what giving us sound. We can hear it by our ears clearly of it. So sound is produced from the flute by the use of the air. Another thing here, look at the importance of the air in our ozone layer. See, the sun is too hot, as we know. The total hot of the sun is 100% will be reflected by the earth, but because of the atmosphere, which will absorb 20% of it, is what very, very helpful for us. Okay? The reason why we cannot feel something um, not good in our surroundings, especially to the people. Okay, the atmosphere around the earth protects us from the harmful rays of the sun. Yes, the rays of the sun are very, very, very dangerous. That is very, very, wait, wait. That is very, which is very dangerous for us if that rays of the sun will go directly into our body without the blocking of the atmosphere. Besides that, the atmosphere helps to maintain the temperature of the earth. Okay, the temperature of the earth. Otherwise, it will be either too hot during the day or too cold during the night for us. See, without the presence of the sun, it will be very cold. And if there's a sun during the day, it will be very, very hot if there is no atmosphere. So what are we going to do? We are going to take good care of our ozone layer so that it will not be damaged. So if there is no carbon dioxide, not only plants cannot make food and survive, other things depending on plants for food will not be able to survive too. Yes, because animals need plants for them to eat, like the cow. Look at the cow. The cow is so thin because there is no much grass that he eats, that the cow is eating this time. So if the cow is so thin, a few a few moments later, or a few days later, a few months later, or a few weeks, rather, I mean like that, the cow will die because of that because of poverty, because of what? Because of there is no grass anymore. So the cow will die. So because of the help of carbon dioxide, the cow can what? The plants can make food. The plants can make food, of course, the cow can eat food, their food, which is the grass. See that? See the importance? How will this cow be affected if there is no carbon dioxide in the air? Of course, they cannot eat food. And what will happen to them? They will die. Okay? So some toys also, not only plants and animals, are some toys need air to work. What about the beach ball, balloons, and and, and floats need air? Example, this beach ball they are playing is full of air, so they can play happily. Can they play the beach ball without the air? No. What about the balloons? You can feel and you can appreciate the beauty of the balloon if there is air inside. What about the floats? The man is happily swimming or riding a floats because there is air inside. If there is no air, can you appreciate these toys that I put here on the screen? No, you cannot appreciate. So air is very important. Will these toys be fun? Yeah, you cannot be enjoyed. So these are the things that we learned about the importance of the air into into to us. I mean to us and to other living organisms as well. So I think that's all for today, and I hope that you learned something about our topic for today, about the importance of the air into our lives, into the lives of other living organisms. Thank you so much for being with me, and have a good day to all of you, and peace out. Thank you.